A woman has to go work like a man every day, and a man goes work and he's tired when he gets home. A woman's not tired. She has to clean, cook, do the dishes, do the laundry. Are you kidding?
Why don't you want to do that?
What are you talking about? Why don't I want to do? You know
Why?
how fucking tiring that is? Have you done that?
First of all,
I do it every day.
fellas, do not choose a woman who don't want to be a woman.
Right.
So you don't want to be a woman. No, you don't want to be a woman.
Yelling doesn't mean you're winning an argument. It's a sign of low intelligence. You can lower your voice and speak to me. I'm sitting right here. I can hear you. So all this, I cook and I clean and yeah, that's part of your function. But when your tire is flat, my function is to make sure you have a new tire.
But
when your car need an oil change, it's my job to make sure these people ain't ripping you off. We have different duties and functions and responsibilities. And if you don't love your duty, your function, your responsibility, you're not fit to be a white, period.
Koaloyim La Yahweh Shemel Shah Bashem Kakadash, the bonus of the apostle Elsgrim Millstone, peace I teach and hope for elect, Shalom. And Lord will, I'll come up with the titles for this lesson. But I just want to get on the fact that how basically this nigga woman was talking about how she got to work like a man, and then when she come home and she tired, that, you know, if it's really supposed to be her responsibility to basically do what a woman is really supposed to do for her man, you know. And this other woman that was pretty much speaking to her, she said there's no problem with, you know, doing those things. And to be honest, I feel like that other woman that was speaking in the video, you know, that was sound like she was submissive and calm, she could potentially be a hopeful elect, you know, the 1/3, you know, just for even refuting against what that wicked woman was saying. And I could tell that other woman that was really being belligerent, she's hella wicked, you know, and she don't want to basically take the responsibilities of being a sincere and honest, you know, humble woman. And in anything, it's like she would be like that for Esau, yeah, to support Esau's you know, business, you know, to work for his corporation. Yeah, our women would pretty much put their first foot forward and they'll give it all their best. They'll come to the job sometimes, you know, forgetting to brush their teeth in the morning, come to the job with, you know, putrid smells like between their legs or even underneath their arms. Yeah, they will do that shit for Esau. You know what I mean, just to keep his company thriving. But here it is for the man well-being and for their man's health. Shit, you can forget about that, because when it's coming to our woman, they'll stress you out to, you know, potentially make you mentally bugged out, or even giving you an ailment from stressing you out, you know, giving you cancer potentially, because, you know, stress could, you know, cause a lot of even medical conditions as well, you know. And also that's just a contributing factor, of course. But the thing is that when it's coming to these women, they're also known for even sometimes poisoning their man's food and things of that nature as well. So they could also give you a medical condition through that, not only just through dealing with their demons, you know, having to be psychologically tormented by dealing with her, you know, how she's a dragon in the house, you know what I mean, how much contention that you have to deal with when it's coming to dealing with these women, you know what I'm saying. It's really ridiculous. And the other man in that you know, podcast right there, he was pretty much putting her in that place, you know, saying that, well, it'll be his responsibility for them as a man to do the oil tire change, you know, to check to see if there's a flat tire, whatever, you know, to fix the tire issues, you know, to make sure that he does the oil change for the car, you know, different responsibilities that he has. You see what I mean? And I figure that you know, a lot of these men now, they're waking up to the fact that these women are basically expecting men to be men, but at the same time it's like they don't want to have no sort of let's say responsibility for taking care of that man. You know, women want to get the benefits of being a man, but at the same time they don't want to pay with the consequences, and they expect men to be men and help support that woman to be in his shoes, and it doesn't work that way. It really doesn't work that way, because as the saying goes, you know, two bulls can't be in the same pen. You know what I'm saying? You're always gonna be butting heads. Of course, the only reason why these women feel this way because Esau pushing all this woman's lib, this feminism. He's pretty much giving these women all these benefits and things of that nature, so they figure that men are completely useless to them. And these women seem to have an issue when they're told about the shit that they're doing is wrong, and then it's like, you know, they want to always throw it at you where, oh, that's a thing of the past. You know what I mean? So it's like they're more comfortable with the shit that Esau has been conditioning them to do. You know, working for the companies and being a career seeking woman, being a boss bitch or whatever, feeling like they're independent. So they feel like they're entitled to, you know, doing whatever the hell they please. And that's why it's going to take all hell to break loose and for society to crash and, you know, the dollar to collapse for these women to really come back into their feminine ways. And you see, I bet you during the time of a blackout, she going to expect a man to be, you know, a man, and expect a man to come into her house that she knows to help her. You know what I mean? You know, she's gonna really expect a man to be a man and be like the guardian for the house. And that's the reason why the Most High is finna bring Jacob trouble, so that he could bring back the old ways, you know, and do away with Esau's stupid upside down, you know, legislations, you know, to do away with his policies and things of that nature. So without further ado, I'll bring out some scripture, Lord willing, make this less edifying. But one point I want to make before I bring out the scriptures, that, you know, I wish that man would have brought out something like that as well in the video, saying that how, you know, a woman will expect a man to be a man when it's coming to an intruder breaking into the house. You know what I'm saying? Or when it's coming to another man trying to attack a woman. You know, in this case, a man that comes out of nowhere and attacks her. You see? That's when women expect for men to jump in. And as times go by, men are not even going to jump in anymore to save you. And in fact, shit, they might even jump in to aid other men in, you know, taking advantage of you in the times that to come. You know? So, that Captain Save a Whole simp shit, that shit is done away with. You know, it's a dying out thing, and it's definitely going to be done away with in the time of Jacob's trouble. But first scripture I'd like to bring out is Jeremiah 31 verse 22. It says, "How long wilt thou go about, O thou backsliding daughter? For the Lord hath created a new thing in the earth, a woman shall compass a man." So it's to the point where women are going around the authority of men, to the point where now it's like it's a problem if you even dare mention that they're supposed to be a servant to a man. You know what I'm saying? You even got women that hear about this truth that claim that that think that they could still bring their feminist ways in this thing, you know, because they feel like they're beautiful and that they're a woman, and men still lust after them and like them and shit. Like, nah, you know, that shit is not gonna go on with the men of the Lord. And next scripture I'd like to bring out, next precept, will be Proverbs chapter 9 verse 13. It says, "A foolish woman is clamorous, she is simple and knoweth nothing." Yeah, that's how stupid our women are. You know, they're very glamorous. You know, look at how this bitch was talking. You could even see in her face on, you know, how she looked in the beginning of the video. Like, she looked like she was just ready to, you know, be on whole defense mode against hearing about her responsibilities and what she's supposed to do as a woman, ready to just talk shit. And a lot of these women don't really understand their true function and their true duties and roles, as the scriptures say that, you know, how they're supposed to be. You know, they don't understand that. And one thing that proves that a lot of these women are foolish is the fact that, you know, they lack understanding of their roles. And you know, they're completely clamorous, because it's like, you see, the thing about them is that they get off by talking, you know, whether it's about nonsense or whatever. They just talk just to, you know, to talk a lot of times. You know, when there's problems and there's issues going on, you know, and the solution would be to find, let's say, a way out of it, you know, by silently thinking, you know, they wouldn't be able to do that if it was to save their life a lot of the times. You know what I'm saying? They're just going to complain and complain to try to make the issue go away. That's how stupid these women are. And for she's simple enough, nothing, it's like, yeah, she doesn't know, let's say, the spiritual thing. She doesn't know her function, her role. She don't know that Eve was supposed to be a helpmeet for the man, that Adam could do it all by himself, you know, if anything. He didn't really need Eve. Eve was just his helper. And let me bring out verse 14. It says, "For she sitteth at the door of her house on a seat in the high places of the city." Right? So that's talking about how, you see, instead of her ass is supposed to be at home, you know, cooking and cleaning, you know, she's out there just, you know, working for Esau's system. You know, she's out there basically, and not only that, she's, you know, out there like going out and about, most likely, you know, without her company of her man. And even if, let's say, she's with somebody, she mostly might be with her female friends, you know, with probably children. And then you best believe that every time when these women walk out the house, they're not in their modest apparel. They're not wearing a full dress down to the you know, down to the knees or something like that. You know, they're not fully covered. You know what I'm saying? They got their hair out. You know, they wear a lot of revealing clothing and things of that nature. So you see, this is the shit that they do. And then another thing too, you know, being in a seat in a high place, it's like, you know, they can pass men. So a lot of times, how did they get to that high place? Not really necessarily because they went to college and things of that nature. It's mostly because of the fact that there's something called the casting couch. You know what I mean? They suck their way to the top. Yeah. You know, sometimes you wonder how the hell somebody got the job. You know, it's not really because of the qualifications or the skills. It's sometimes they did certain favors to get up there. You know what I'm saying? And they will do all of that for Esau, for the so-called white man. You best believe that. And verse 15 says to call passengers who go right on their ways. Yeah, because she wants attention. You know, that's what social media allows these women to have, is a lot of attention. You know what I'm saying? And that word media goes into medium. You know, like even in the what you call it, ancient Greek mythology, there's a one of the gods called is Media or something like that, if I'm not mistaken. And it was a goddess that pretty much was considered a sorcerer. You know what I'm saying? And she was known for casting illusions. You know what I'm saying? And that's exactly what these women do when they wear that makeup and shit. So, you know, they try to make sure that they want to be seen. And you see, no matter what their man has, sometimes, like, he could have, like, a lot of money. He could be famous and all that on this side. And it's like, that all that is a joke to her, because it's like, it means nothing. And it really is a joke, because that's vainglory. Because that shit is not going to be transferred over to the kingdom of heaven. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody's glory and fame on this side is going to pass away, you know, once the kingdom of heaven is established. And all the fame and glory on this side, and yet this bitch, she don't respect you. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you're an Israelite man, even if you're a multi-millionaire or a billionaire. I mean, for example, look at Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith, you know? And another thing too, it's like, when you look at it, Steph Curry and his wife, you know, that was a perfect example right there. She want to be seen, you know what I mean? So this scripture, this precept right here definitely, you know, revolves around mostly our women, and, you know, pretty much that would be women like Stephen Curry's wife, and even Will Smith's wife. And verse 16 says, whoso is simple, let him turn in hither. And as for him that one of understanding, she saved to him. Stolen waters are sweet, and bread eaten in secret is pleasant. So basically, she wants to be, let's say, how do I put it? But she wants to pretty much be revealed unto him, in a sense of like, she want to show him that she's a sneaky link material. You know what I'm saying? Like, pretty much like she is down for the adultery. You know, this is how these women get down. That's why they got their social medias, and that's why you best believe, if you just so happen to have a woman, you know, scriptures say, marvel not if she trespass against thee, because of shit like this. You know, they got the smartphone, they got the social medias. So, and especially if they're a content creator or a model or actress, you know, if they have some sort of clout to them, they're going to be having a lot of attention. And especially if they go to college too. And once they join a sorority, it's over. So, you know, the stolen water, one thing, you know, that represents would be, you know, like her, you know, her box pretty much. Because a lot of these women need to understand that a man could have multiple body counts and he could still be the same. He could still be pure. You know what I mean? Because a man doesn't carry DNA like a woman does. You know, there's a term called microchromism. So once water is tainted, if I steal somebody's bottle of water and I know he put his mouth on it, on the cup or so, if he put his mouth on the lid, things of that nature, his lip had contact with the water. You know what I'm saying? So that's filthy right there. Now that water's contaminated. You know, if somebody touches no matter how many times they touch that bottle, let's say, as long as they ain't really touch inside the water, once they put their finger in that bottle, that water's contaminated. You know what I'm saying? And that's how you gotta look at it with these women. So a lot of men that went inside them, they're contaminated, and they think that's valuable. And the bread eaten in secret is pleasant. You know, it tells you about the way of adulterous woman. And the scripture says that's how she will eat if wiping her mouth and say she have done no wickedness. And of course, in a society like this that pushes wickedness on a whole nother level, you know, it's like these women have no shame because it's glorified. You know, you got artists or celebrities that push the wickedness in the films and in the music, you know. And amongst black culture, that's, you know, really heavily pushed upon our people to follow those ways. And verse 18 says, but he knoweth not that the dead are there, that her guests are in the depths of hell. Right. And that's basically when it's talking about that woman's body, all those body counts she had. Yeah. It's like there was a picture. I don't think I can find it, but it was a and if I can, which I highly doubt, I'll put it here. But there was an image that showed like inside of a it looked pink. It was supposed to show like inside of a a female's vagina or so, and it shows like multiple skulls and things of that nature, showing basically through the spirit that's what her body is in the inside, representing a lot of other men's spirits inside her. And scriptures tell you that many men have been slain by her. Like many men have been wounded by the strange woman. And that's also goes into false philosophies, but it could also talk about how these wicked women are. That's why Proverbs 7 verse 25 says, let not thine heart decline to her ways, go not astray in her paths. You see, verse 26, for she have cast down many wounded, many strong men have been slain by her. And then you got niggas out there that run out their wits for women like this, that swear up and down that they don't need to do anything for their men, and swear that men are supposed to bow down to them and worship them. And that's why a lot of times they don't mind opening their legs to bitch ass niggas, because you see, the thing is that a true man is not really appreciated and valued until he is needed, especially in a time of trouble. So it's like these women, they have like the 911's a call, they got the police, and they got simps. So it's like they feel like they got their protection, all around them, and they think their protection is A1. And what they fail to realize is that when the society collapses, that's when a real man is going to be truly appreciated, and the real man is truly a man of the Lord. And verse 27 says, verse 26, for she have cast down many wounded, many strong men have been slain by her. Verse 27, her house is the way to hell, going down to the chambers of death. Your body's also a house too, but even then her physical house is also, a way of death too, because it's like majority of times when you go to these women's houses, this bitch talking about, she's against doing those house duties. And of course, because it's like they spend more time doing makeup, they spend more time watching reality shows, with women that have the same mindset as her and act worse than her. And that's how these women, they feel like they're entitled because of that, feminist mindset. And they think that every man that they come across is supposed to bow down to them and worship them and they owe them something. That's basically Esau gassing them up. And you have women that have pretty much been responsible for a lot of men that ended up being wounded in hospital, ended up dying, or even ended up in jail. So you best believe a lot of deaths are pretty much associated, and influenced by a woman. A lot of it is the cause of women. Men being homeless, men going to jail, men even being put to death, ended up in the graveyard, all because of women. Scripture said all wickedness is little to the wickedness of a woman. How the portion of a sinner falls upon her, because it's like you have niggas out there that will run out their wits for women, and they will actually become servants for her sake. They will do twice the level of wickedness just to spend a night with her. Not even a full committed relationship at times, just to really get between her legs. They will spend so many hours throughout their day, and just many days throughout the week, so much time throughout the whole week, or just even in one day, just to try to convince her, to lay with her. You know what I'm saying? But that's the last precept I'm bringing out in Titus chapter 2 verse 3. It says, the aged woman likewise that they be in behavior as becometh holiness, not false accusers, not given to much wine, teachers of good things, that they may teach young women to be sober, to love their husbands, to love their children, to be discreet, chaste, keepers at home, good, obedient to their own husbands, that the word of Yahweh be not blasphemed. Right. And don't get me wrong, these are going to be the same women that, let's say, in the Christian church that act just like this, and they claim that they're married to, who they ignorantly call Christ, which is Yasharahla. They claim they're married to him. And these women are adulterous as all hell. Now, you see, if you was to be married to Yasharahla, you're supposed to be waiting on his second coming and being a virgin for him. You know what I'm saying? And you women, a lot of you have lost that V card, at a very young age. And you women don't have what it takes of being wifey material to your own man. So what the hell makes you think that you are considered to be a wife for Yahweh? This is why majority of women, mainly our women, especially out of all women, so-called black women, are not going to make it. And this will be the last precept, actually. 1 Timothy chapter 5, verse 10 says, well reported for good works, if she have brought up children, if she have lodged strangers, if she have washed the saints' feet, if she have relieved the afflicted, if she have diligently followed every good work. But the younger widows refuse, for when they have begun to wax wanton against Yahweh, they will marry, having damnation, because they have cast off their first faith, which is their first husband. And verse 13, and withal they learn to be idle, wandering about house to house, and not only idle, but tattlers also, and busybodies, speaking things which they ought not. Verse 14, I will therefore that the young woman marry, bear children, guard the house, give none occasion to the adversary to speak reproachfully. Right. So they shouldn't even be given any sort of mind to anything that Esau is pushing in society, so that they won't be tempted to, being contentious against their man and feeling as though they could do what these other wicked women out here are doing. A woman shouldn't be doing that at all. Following after the ways of these celebrities in Hollywood and these other celebrities that be making the music to influence their wicked actions. Verse 15 says, for some are already turned aside after Satan. Exactly, because the so-called white man Esau, that's these women's god. That's who these women serve. They're more submissive to Esau than Jake. But I have news for you. Esau is gonna very soon disappoint you, and he's gonna very soon, when his society collapses and he feels like he's losing his grip. A lot of you Eves out there, and even the Shedomite woman gonna see it too, that her own man is a no good, piece of shit devil, and whoever of these other nations are married unto Esau, they're gonna see that shit as well when he comes down with that great wrath. And a lot of them are going to be seeking for a man of the Lord. But with that, hope we may let's edify and to give all glory, praise, honor to Adonai Yahweh, Bashem Shalom, Yahweh Shah, Bashem Gakadash, the honors of the apostle, Elspeth, most on peace, our teacher, hopeful elect, Shalom.